Good evening. It is amazing that we are here after 3 years all together. Our Native CDFI ceremony, our 17th annual. I'm really just overwhelmed and overtaken by all of the love, by all of the new friends, old friends, colleagues, partners that we have gathered here tonight. You could have been anywhere else, and you decided to join us in celebrating our Native communities. So for that, thank you so much. I want to do something a little different this year. For those of you that have been coming to our Native CDFI award ceremonies, we're going to proceed as usual. And for those that this is your first time, then it won't seem different. So we're good either way. But I want to take a moment to reflect. This has been an incredible, sometimes despairing, and very scary last 3 years. So for our representatives here tonight within Indian country, our partners in all of the communities that experienced this pandemic together, I want us just to take a moment to pause and reflect upon our communities, to give silent prayers for those that are not with us anymore because of the pandemic, and really take a moment in solidarity in which we recognize that we are here tonight, we're prospering, and we're working for a betterment of not only Native communities, but the fabric of United States. So as we think, and as we take this moment just to ponder, respect, and reflect, I'd like us all just to stand for one moment, and you can sit down when we're done, but if we stand for one moment, and let's give 10 seconds of remembering our ancestors, remembering those that passed, and remembering and honoring that we were in a place of such uncertainty for ourselves, our families, our communities, and we all experience that pain together and individually. But as we look at moving forward, we're able to take a little breath of relief now, and we're able to look towards the future in a measure more hopeful, in a measure of building more. So in this moment, remember those things. Chimigwich. And in this moment, I want you all to put whatever hand that you are most comfortable with, but a show of solidarity. We made it. We are here. Woo! That was a good one. Thank you to the Empire State Singers. You can all have a seat. And in normal fashion, as we all gather today and we're here to celebrate 3 extraordinary CDFIs, I'd like to begin our ceremony with prayer. And offering our prayer tonight, we're so honored, is Ted Piccolo.
The honor's really mine, Crystal, and I'm just overwhelmed here. But thank you, everybody, for coming. And I just ask at this time that you find your place and you reach out to who you reach out to in your faith and in your belief as we open this evening. And I think, as Crystal talked about, in a glorious fashion. And I want to open this with a prayer of thanks for what the Creator has given us in our time together that we missed over the last couple of years. And we just ask that now that the Creator would be with us and with all the conversations here tonight. These conversations would be meaningful, that relationships will be built, relationships that will go on in the days that follow, the years that follow, even the generations that follow, as we as a people look generations ahead. So we lift up this evening to the Creator that we want foundations built here this evening that will last generations. And we give thanks for the time that we've had up to this point. We give thanks for the last couple of years and the strength that you've given everybody in this room and everybody back home that has helped everybody in this room and will continue to help everybody in this room. Thank you. Amen.
Well, once again, good evening, and welcome to Awista and Opportunity Finance Network's 17th annual Native CDFI Award Ceremony. We are here to honor 3 extraordinary practitioners within the Native CDFI field tonight. I'd like to take a moment and reflect upon what that really means and portrays to have us here today. To have the opportunity to honor our colleagues and their groundbreaking and extraordinary work. To have the opportunity to have a platform of such magnitude. To have the opportunity, honestly, to be standing, living, and breathing here today. Our Native organizations represented here tonight, right here in our audience, are not only representing their entities, but also their people, their land, their ancestors, and their tribal nations. These last 3 years have been extraordinary. While the pandemic was indiscriminate in its global devastation, both medically and economically, we felt it on a much deeper level in Indian country and in our rural communities. As you're all more than aware, COVID severely emphasized the lack of infrastructure and safe living conditions that our communities reside in, overcrowded housing, few food resources, and substandard medical care. Our Native CDFIs here tonight were the lifeline to their communities during this time. You not only saved lives, but you saved livelihoods in our last remaining sovereign nations in this country. Not only did you vamp up your lending efforts to your small businesses and homeowners, but many of you also created emergency loan programs while federal dollars were slow to arrive, so your communities would not suffer and perish. We've had enough of that. You save elders who hold precious cultural wisdom and children who are hungry because their mother's savings account had run out as her job was halted as all economic engines on our tribal reservation economy shut down. And you did so much more than that. You saved the fabric of a community in so many ways that we have a stronger community resiliency for our future 7 generations. I think as an industry, we've worked harder than we ever have in 2019, 20, and 21. And I hope we never have to experience that again. Yet, You were victorious. We were all victorious, in a sense. Our native CDFIs lent more than $230 million over the last 3 years, provided thousands of hours of technical assistance, and pivoted their operations to a virtual landscape. And in rural communities, that's quite a feat. We heard data yesterday from our native gathering that the increase in lending was also an increase in new potential business owners who saw opportunities when the pandemic hit to serve a community need and wanted to start a business to fill that void. We had an increase in mortgage and home renovation requests, and to the best of your ability, because we know that low-cost capital is hard to come by in your neck of the woods. You met that need. You are amazing. That's resiliency. But also important to note that I have been and am continuously touched by all of your humanity, by those who became friends and partners and supporters of Indian country during this time. The heart that you all put into your work each and every day, especially during the pandemic, is beyond commendable. You are really good people, and that's important. In these times of great political, environmental, and human uncertainties, we need to remember that resistance is in our blood as Native nations, as Native people, and as a country itself. We spread a message of resilience in the work we do each and every day, with every loan we close, with every partnership and collaboration made to enhance our community's ability to have a higher quality of life, by creating a path for opportunity to prosper. We are resilient. Our organizations and our CDFIs across the nation are created to be the local platforms in which we fight for social, political, and economic justice. Despite market constraints, despite economic downturns, our CDFIs are the embodiment of resilience. We have weathered all the storms, and we are still here. And we are resistant. We resist the status quo. We resist political, racial, and economic inequities. We are the voice, platform, and avenues for our communities to act upon their own resistance. We provide the development services and financing products where our people can actively resist the economic paradigm that they find themselves in. And that takes bravery. Our clients are truly resistant in their actions, whether they recognize it or not. That despite these gross inequities, that they can still dream a big dream. And that change and opportunity is possible and attainable. And our institutions are the vehicle that offer a path to economic freedom and inclusion. We need to continue to remember what has kept us strong as Native peoples and as a country itself. Our sense of community and commitment to each other, our sense of uplifting each other when we need it the most, and our obligation to our children and our unborn relations perhaps we'll never meet. We need to remember our humanity. We are a strong people, we are a strong country, and our collective voices in fighting for inclusion, prosperity, and economic equality, and in solidarity are so important now more than ever. So as we're about to honor our industry leaders, do not forget how brave you are, each and every one of you in this room, and that you are victors in your own individual resistance and resilience. Your institutions are a beacon of light and hope. They are the voice of embodiment of economic equality and a path to economic flourishment for your communities. We can't do this work without each other. We are all related. We are one nation, and together we are redefining what economic sovereignty looks like. Miigwech. And it is my great pleasure to introduce Dawson Hermini Horses, who will be presenting our Seed Award Capital winner and giving us information on one of our 3 extraordinary Native CDFIs tonight.
Thank you so much, Crystal. Good evening. My name is Dawson Hermini Horses. I'm an enrolled member of the Rosebud Sioux Tribe of South Dakota, and I'm the head of Native American Banking for Wells Fargo. It's a pleasure to be with you all this evening. I just want to start by kind of acknowledging and thanking you for the prayer and thanking the drum group for the song that got us started. You know, as I think about the work that we do in finance and Native American finance specifically, right? A lot of the work that we do is so that our communities can continue to thrive and that our culture continues and that we can continue to practice our songs, our ceremonies, and our prayers. So thank you for all of that. I'd also like to thank Crystal for her visionary leadership and tireless advocacy on behalf of Indigenous communities. You know, what a privilege it is to be in front of so many of you community and economic development leaders who have dedicated their lives to creating opportunities for Indigenous people everywhere. Your work reaches every corner of the United States, from urban communities to rural locations encompassing reservations, traditional Native lands, Hawaiian homelands, and Alaska Native villages. Today, we gather to celebrate Native CDFIs. In many communities, you are the primary financial institution meeting consumer and small business needs. You are giving members of our community opportunities to own a home, start and grow a business, and more. You are the engines of economic mobility. Today, we recognize 3 exceptional Native community development financial institutions with an award that supports their vision and mission. This year's awardees are Akiptan, Yakaawu, and Nimiipuu. It's a privilege for me to introduce the 2022 Native CDFI Seed Capital Award recipient, Nimiipuu Fund. The Seed Capital Award is a $75,000 grant for an emerging Native CDFI offering a strategy with a great potential in various stages of development. Established in 2013, Nimiipuu Fund facilitates financial independence by enhancing the personal and entrepreneurial capacity of the Nez Perce Reservation and surrounding communities. The CDFI provides technical assistance, capacity building, and loans that create opportunities to stimulate economic development on or near the Nez Perce Reservation. Nimiipuu Fund earned the 2022 Seed Capital Award for its strategy around a new home rehabilitation loan product. The offering will help mitigate a pervasive lack of affordable housing by enabling home buyers to rehab existing available homes that are in poor condition. It is now my great pleasure to introduce Nimiipuu Fund Executive Director Jonelle Yearout, who will speak more about her team's extraordinary work.
Thank you, Dawson. So I just want to say Himakas Katsiyaoyao to Owista, Wells Fargo, and Opportunity Finance Network for the Native CDFI Seed Capital Award. I remember my first OFN conference, taking so many notes and trying to meet as many people as I could. And they had those private receptions, and I remember just kind of sneaking my way in there and crashing parties and just so I could meet people and mingle. And you do that as an emerging CDFI or just someone new to the industry. So you guys who are emerging or just, starting out in the industry, I understand and I see you. I also remember the Native Awards night, so it's quite astounding to be in this position right now. For those that were honored previously for their addressing issues related to housing, to business owners, to artists getting into markets during the COVID pandemic, so they're getting to e-commerce, or supporting your communities through the pandemic. On more brighter notes, I remember those who have inspired me along the way, like Nikki Foster from Northwest Area Foundation, who nudged me one time and said, "That'll be you someday." Of course, I'm just like, whatever. Or you get a phone call from one of your mentors, or like a big brother, Ted Piccolo, who's just giddy. He's just like, "You're almost there. I could feel it." And that was when we hit our $1 million in assets. So those encouraging words really do count. And the other ones who are just like the brain masters and the thought leaders, like Lisa Wagner, who's telling me on a virtual conference, she's like, "You know this stuff." So those are the things that, encourage me to do the work that I do, and I thank you guys for that. Success in any size can be celebrated with moments like this, to call, one of our peers, "It'll be you someday," and also sharing. And I just want to say that's our way, ain't it? We share, we razz each other, we have beautiful ceremonies, and the stories that we tell. What I noticed is that Native CDFIs, with these stories, we have compelling accolades because we put ourselves in uncomfortable situations and we share our successes, but we also learn from setbacks, which are all valuable. The Seed Capital Award will allow Nimiipuu Fund to meet the demand for home rehabilitation and capacity around our current loan products. The pandemic revealed the need for home improvements and recovery for individuals and families. In 2020, we created an employee loan as part of our consumer loan product. And part of this that we noticed is home rehab kept popping up as a theme, where people were fixing bathrooms, weatherizing their windows. They had kids at home. They had to get things to get through 2020. So they were improving their quality of life while also living through the pandemic. Clients also reported that they could not qualify for tribal homes for home improvement due to the issue of lending on tribal lands. The unmet need is a symptom of other financial institutions failing to meet home rehab capital needs on the Nez Perce Reservation. So part of this, we set to complete a market study in 2021, and it revealed for home loan capital is $6.8 million. Home rehab, this is just based on people completing our survey, was $1.3 million. And so the demand is there. And so we want to use this as our first step, using the seed capital for home rehab. But it is a stepping stone into a home loan product. So I feel like we're growing up. Even though it seems a little bit daunting, I'm just comforted by the fact that I have experts all around me. You guys are experts, and I'm sure I'll be making a few phone calls to each of you on your home loan products. This is also a testament of the success in our tribal communities, whether it be on reservations, traditional homelands, or urban centers. We are the echoes of our elders, and we are in a unique position to elevate our voices and bring power back. Success, no matter how large or small, is movement. One of our most notable Nez Perce, I'm sure everybody knows Chief Joseph, from the flight of 1877, our war against the United States, where we're basically trying to flee from the government. A little known fact is that our Maman, which is the Appaloosa horse, is a Nez Perce horse. It was created by us with a distinction for its unique coloring, sure footing, its ability to hike up and down mountains, its mental toughness and endurance. Our defeat in the war included the destruction of our horses. This was our resource, our innovation, and pride. I often hear how community members feel that they are overlooked, unqualified, suppressed, and that finance is not for them. I feel that Native CDFIs have served as our horse, our mamen of the financial industry. We are the vehicle moving our communities forward. Let us keep the spirit and continue to make our impacts to improve our tribal communities. Again, katsiyawyao to our team, to our board. We have our loan officer and our youngest member, little CDFI baby, Hitsi. There she is. And we also have a few community members here as well, Sue and Zeke and Jamie. But I just want to say thank you again to the opportunity, to our leaders, and to the movers and shakers of the industry. Katsiyawyao, yokolo. That's all.
Congratulations to Jonelle and Nimiipuu Fund for your extraordinary work. As we saw in the Northwest Native Development Fund video earlier today, safe, affordable housing is a critical need in Indian country. I look forward to seeing the housing rehab product at Nimiipuu Fund grow and flourish as you help Native families with their dream of homeownership. And thank you, Dawson and Wells Fargo, for sponsoring the Native CDFI Awards. The Native CDFI Awards are a beautiful opportunity to celebrate the ingenuity and tenacity of Native CDFIs. There are more than 75 Native CDFIs working in Indian country. 33 of them are OFN members. With capital and financial services, Native CDFIs lead the way in creating opportunity for individual tribal members and entire tribal communities on and off reservations and Indian lands. Founded and staffed by people from the communities they serve, Native CDFIs have a unique perspective on solutions to undoing centuries of devastating economic inequality in Indian country. OFN is proud of our longtime partnership with OWISTA and the Native CDFI Network, both of which have helped build the Native CDFI field into the powerful force it is today. We look forward to many years of continued collaboration as we work together to invest in change for Native peoples and land. Tonight, we celebrate 3 exceptional Native CDFIs, and I'm delighted to introduce one of them. Akiptan has earned one of 2 Native CDFI Catalyst Awards. Based in South Dakota, Akiptan has a national footprint and supports Native agricultural producers across Indian country. At just 3 years old, the CDFI is making a tremendous mark as an agricultural lender. Since its inception in 2019, it has committed more than $11.5 million to Native agricultural producers, and its current pipeline is more than $4 million. This growth is remarkable. As is the team that is leading it. In a minute, you will meet a member of the Akiptan staff, but now, without further delay, enjoy learning more about their work and their Native CDFI Catalyst Award strategy.
Akiptan is the Lakota word for doing something together in a joint effort, doing something cooperatively, which is really reflective of our lending philosophy. We are founded from underneath the Intertribal Agriculture Council. And the Intertribal Agriculture Council has been around since like 1987. They do a lot of things, a lot of different ways, but their overarching mission is to connect Native producers with the resources that they need to succeed.
Akiptan sees the biggest finance struggle is the way the American system values assets in Indian countries. Producers are bringing specific assets to the table like land, and the American valuation system doesn't recognize it in its standard form. So what Akiptan does is translate that. They take the asset that the producer brings to the table and turns it into, and is sort of that middle person and decides and puts the value on it, which is appropriate, and turns it into capital available to the farmer rancher to grow their operation, start their operation, expand their operation, that kind of thing.
Akiptan's footprint is nationwide, all across Indian country. When we started out, we had a small pool of lending capital. Now that we're growing, now that we're bigger, now that we've had more investments and more grants, we have more capital, and we've grown and extended our loan limits and extended our products and services. Our borrowers, we think of more as partners. When a potential new client comes walking in our door or calls the office, we go through a few different things with them, and it's to really change that dynamic of that borrower-lender to more of a partnership approach, and that's reflective of Akiptan, our name and our lending philosophy.
We help clients fill out the application, help them do their balance sheets, and do their projections as far as what their operation looks like. With that comes our technical assistance, whether it's with new and beginning farmers and ranchers or experienced farmers and ranchers. People would rather come to Akiptan than go to traditional banks or other lenders because we have patient capital, and we're able to be innovative to be able to fit their operation. It's not just we give you a loan, you repay it back at a certain interest rate and a certain time frame. It goes far beyond that.
Our first loan with Akiptan is, it saved our lives, it saved the farm. We just purchased the property and found that growing everything outside was not going to work because that one hailstorm comes through that was like golf ball size and wiped the whole farm out. And so that was our first big greenhouse, was through that CDFI loan, and it saved us. What's unique about this loan program, the CDFI, is that your first year they allow you to not make payments, and so that allows you as a new business owner or an existing business owner to kind of take stock in your finances, whether you're just starting off or you're already managing existing funds, which for farming is just, you're always just spending way too much money. It allowed us to purchase 3 other greenhouses. It just went really smooth, and there's a lot of communication. In Akiptan, it just felt like family.
Our Native Catalyst Award strategy is all about our patient capital and partnership approach. We're doing some really unique stuff. Nobody else out there is really doing, up to 5 years interest only on their loans to allow their producers or to allow their clients to build their business. Nobody out there is doing 4 quarterly check-ins to build that partnership approach with their clients out there, intentionally taking those steps to do those things. And so now that we've been up and operating for a few years, and we have proved our concept, we want to spread that message and we want to do more of it. And so that's what our Catalyst Award proposal is all about. Receiving this award is incredibly exciting and humbling because it is an acknowledgement that our hard work is paying off. It's actually working and it's making a difference out there in Indian country. And just that acknowledgement and the opportunity to tell our story and to share our successes with the rest of the native CDFIs and just the CDFI industry and the financial industry as a whole is incredibly exciting and humbling, and it's just been awesome.
What a beautiful video. And we are just so excited to see the work. Now I'd like to introduce Akiptan's program director, Don LeBeau.
Thank you, Beth. We love that video. That's one of our first videos at Akiptan. We've invested a lot of our time into marketing, and we want to say thank you to Awista and Wells Fargo for sending a team out to do that video for us. It was really exciting. But Hatai tu washte yu happy. Wanapi sapa we manchi api ye. Na Donnie Lebo manchi api ye. Itazi pa chola na ohe numpa wakpa washte lakota uyate amataha. Iyo hatanya itachiapi. In Lakota, I say, good evening, everyone. I greet you with a good heart and a handshake. My Lakota name is Black Necklace Woman. My English name is Donnie LeBeau. I'm a member of the Without Bows and Two Kettle Bands of the Cheyenne River Lakota Nation, and it's good to be here with you all. I'm the program officer with Akiptan, and it's an honor to be here tonight to receive this award on behalf of the Akiptan team and the Native producers. I'd like to extend a heartfelt thank you to those seating the selection committee for this award and for believing in our work. I would also like to acknowledge the fellow recipients and you all who are doing the hands-on work in the Native CDFI industry. It's an honor to be a part of this movement. Akiptan was founded on the principles of lender security and producer prosperity, patient capital instead of extractive capital, innovative lending, and relationship-based lending. Our mission is to transform the native food and agriculture economies by delivering creative capital, leading paradigm changes, and enhancing producer prosperity across Indian country. This is reflective in our name, Akiptan, which is the Lakota word for doing something together in partnership. We are located on the Cheyenne River Lakota Nation in Eagle Butte, South Dakota, and we finance native ag nationwide. And since our inception in 2019, we have served 19 tribal communities. We have deployed $13 million in loan capital and have provided 189 loans. And as Skya said in the video, receiving the Native CDFI Catalyst Award is incredibly humbling and exciting. It's an acknowledgement of the work that we do at Akiptan, and it shows that we are really making a change in Indian country. The award also presents an opportunity not only to expand our outreach to our partners, our native agriculture producers, but it also tells our story and helps us to share our successes with other Native CDFIs and the broader CDFI and financial industries. Akiptan will utilize the Native Catalyst Award to further our mission in several ways. We will increase our team to deploy patient, innovative capital that works to uplift our underserved native producers so that more producers can prosper by helping them to grow their equity, accomplish their goals, and to work towards food and financial security all across Indian country. And the award will also enhance our programming. We are constantly developing new tools to help our producers in financial security, which includes financial literacy curriculum for different industries within the native agriculture realm, and resources that enhance producer financial skills. Akiptan firmly believes that investing in youth is a step in food security and food sovereignty, so we make sure that the youth are included in all of our activities, and this includes financial literacy curriculums, scholarships, and internships, and we hope to continue to broaden our financial literacy offerings thanks to the Native Catalyst Award. Our proof of concept is in the works, and we are already seeing early signs of success. The next steps are to share the message to help change the paradigm of how lending is currently done. We know that patient, relationship-based financing is the key to prosperous economic future, and we are looking forward to sharing our testimonials as producers gain financial security. On behalf of the Akiptan team and the board of directors, Wopila Tanka Ichechie. Thank you.
Congratulations to Akiptan, and thank you, Don, for the wonderful remarks. You know, interesting, Awista, we've held a space as an intermediary lender. We were created in 1999, and we're the longest-standing intermediary lender. But we're so very happy and pleased because there's more space for everybody in Indian country. But Akiptan is set to be an intermediary, as they indicated, national lender, and they're doing amazing work. So within this space, another round of applause. Such great things. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our second 2022 Native CDFI Catalyst Award, and our recipient is Yakaawu. Located in Southeast Alaska, it is one of the most, and their region, beautiful places anywhere. It's a vast temperate rainforest with diverse waterways, mountains, and glaciers, and other geological wonders. Native American communities living in the region are spread across the area, separated by water and rugged mountain terrain. It's not an easy area to build in, and the lack of affordable housing in Native Alaskan villages is a serious and urgent issue. Yakaawu is tackling the lack of housing stock with its Success Starts With Me program, an indigenous partnership with the Tlingit Haida Regional Housing Authority. The program pairs mortgages and home ownership education, home building, and job creation. So let's learn more about Success Starts With Me in Yakaawu's work in Southeast Alaska.
Yakaawu's mission is to provide financial opportunities to Southeast Alaskan communities and to our tribal, Tlingit and Haida tribal citizens wherever they reside.
In 2019, the Housing Authority outsourced a market study for each community, as to where we sent out a survey to tribal leaders and community residents about what their biggest community needs are, and new home ownership was tops in each choice.
Some of the most critical housing needs out in our remote communities are affordable housing, safe and healthy housing. Many of the people live in overcrowded situations. They live in housing that is old and no longer can withstand our severe winters we have here in Southeast.
Success Starts With Me is the program where we've partnered with the Housing Authority to purchase or build a home that meets the needs of the family. And then the Yakaawu comes in with the mortgage financing. We work really closely with the client to help them with their readiness for home ownership, determine what their monthly ability is, make sure that their debt-to-income ratio is a comfortable level for us and for them. We look for finding a wide, creative ways of down payment assistance programs, being able to reduce interest to the level that we can. The program is really built to meeting our people, our clients, where they are and helping them succeed. Hence, Success Starts With Me. I just love the story of Quan Bales and his son, on the weekends, putting up siding on their home or putting the flooring on. And Quan didn't want to have our workers, our crew, spend any more time than they had to on his home. He was going to do the things that he knew he had the skills to do and the time to do to save those costs. So at the end of the day, his home was significantly less than it would have cost him if he just bought it in the open market.
Our sons and I worked in the house. They helped us pretty good, doing flooring, sheetrocking, the piling work. Great help. Big boys. Very sentimental value, because just about if you look at all these places, the flooring, the trim, the window, If you look at it, basically all the places you look at, we touched it. That really have a lot of meaning.
I noticed everywhere we go, he always notices all that. Habit. He always looks at everything.
With the Success Starts With Me program and with the relationship with the Housing Authority, we've been able to build 2 to 4 homes in each community. And when it comes to building homes, you need the manpower. So we're able to do a lot of local hire and provide jobs for these communities that have 50% or higher unemployment rates.
You can't build housing if you don't have jobs and opportunities, right? So we're in this delicate balance right now. You can't have a cookie cutter program that what works in the lower 48 doesn't necessarily work in Alaska. What works in Southeast Alaska might not work in Western Alaska. So the CDFI that is run by our Clinton-Haida Regional Housing Authority, it's flexible in nature, and that's how we have to be innovative and creative in how we do things. We can't expect the old ways that never worked to work into the future, right? And when I talk about we, that's our tribes, that's the Housing Authority, that's the CDFI, because we're in this together.
We plan to use the funds to increase our staff time spent on working with individuals. We haven't been traveling much to the communities because of COVID, but now that things are opening up, we want to travel to the communities again and hold classes and one-on-one counseling.
Yakaawu worked with us to get where we needed to be credit-wise, financial-wise, and made everything smooth. The night that we moved in, watching my 16-year-old move in his shoes, his pride and joy, watching the 2 littles run up and down the hallway, yelling, listening to their echo, it kind of gave me a sense of relaxation, a sense of, okay, we're home.
We knew we had a good program and Success Starts With Me. But seeing other people be so interested in it and getting this award means that we can tell our story and share the information with other tribes across the country. So we're really excited about that. Besides, I have to say, having that little award symbol on the bottom of our signature line makes it feel like a check mark that we've got credibility.
And now we'll welcome to the stage for remarks members of Yakaawu. Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you. My name is Joyce Niven, and I'm the Director of Mortgage Lending with Yakaawu Financial Corporation. This is Sean Guthrie. He's our Portfolio and Operations Manager. We are very honored to have received this award and wish to thank OFN, Wells Fargo, and OWISTA for sponsoring this award. I'd also like to congratulate the other award recipients on their success as well. Yakaawu is a small native CDFI located in Juneau, Alaska. Our service area is comprised of all of Southeast Alaska and is often referred to as the Panhandle. It's 500 miles long and comprised of more than 1,000 islands with about 34 communities. And it is the land of the Tlingit, Haida, and Tsimshian people. A few things about home ownership in Southeast. You heard earlier how beautiful our home is. One reason it's so beautiful and green is because we live in a very wet climate. Because of that, our older housing stock is constantly battling mold issues. Other than our seafood, the majority of our food, fuel, and supplies arrive by either boat or plane. Many of our communities experience high unemployment, and many people live a subsistence lifestyle. Economic development is hindered because of a lack of housing. Traditional banks are not present in our villages, and many people are unbanked and have not been able to establish a credit score. Buildable land is scarce, and many communities lack infrastructure for new housing. Rental rates are high, often higher than a mortgage payment would be. As such, people have had to live in overcrowded situations in order to make their rent affordable. The cost to build often exceeds the appraised value of homes, in some instances by $200,000. The recent homes that we've been building with the Housing Authority, a modest 2 to 3 bedroom, 1,200 square foot home has cost $450,000 since the pandemic. All of this leads to a very high cost of living and puts home ownership out of reach for most of the tribal citizens in the region. Yakaawu believes that every person who wants to own a home should have that opportunity. We also believe that there are people in our region who have the ability to own a home, but they often don't know how, or they don't know that they are able to. We are trying to create a paradigm shift so that people believe renting is only a stepping stone to home ownership, and it's not the most that they can hope for. How did we get here? A few years ago, we challenged ourselves to create a home ownership program for low to moderate income families. We surveyed our population, we analyzed the results, and what we came up with was our Success Starts With Me program. The objective of this program is to meet our clients wherever they are on their self-sufficiency journey and to customize a loan package that meets their needs. We don't make people fit our programs. We make our programs fit the family with flexible terms and options. A loan package may include first and second mortgages, 30 to 40-year terms, a forgivable down payment assistance loan, and down payment assistance through other organizations such as BIA and Federal Home Loan Bank. We also encourage our clients to contribute sweat equity. As you saw in the video, Quan did a great job at sweat equity for his home. We've partnered with Tlingit Regional Housing Authority and the tribes to build homeowner units to be financed under the Success Starts With Me program. We launched this program during the pandemic. So we had to conduct all of our outreach via community Zoom meetings and to encourage people to apply for the program. And then we met with individuals over Zoom to go over their applications and work on their budgets. We would not have been successful without the technical assistance we have received from the CDFI Fund and Enterprise. The guidance from our consultants, Seven Sisters, was invaluable. And we also learned so much from the virtual trainings put on by OWISTA and the Native Learning Center. And we also appreciate the assistance and support that we have received from other CDFIs. Where are we going from here? We continue to evaluate the needs of our region and create new programs, such as our newly launched small dollar credit builder loan. And we are working out the details of a companion Success Starts With Me program for people who are so close to being eligible for a mortgage, but are just not quite there yet. And financial education will always be the key to our success. As COVID restrictions are lifting, we are making plans to travel to the communities again, offer in-person classes and coaching in order to create more self-sufficiency opportunities. I'll close by again thanking OFN for this award and thanking everyone who has helped us help the people of Southeast Alaska. Gunishish.
I just came up here to be your good-looking sidekick. I just wanted to say, Gunas Chish, my name's Sean Guthrie. I'm a proud Tlingit Tsimshian Alaskan native from the Ganakadi clan out of Klawock. And after meeting with everybody here and seeing all the wonderful programs that you guys have been doing, it's an honor for us to even be considered amongst you guys. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, this was a wonderful evening. Again, a huge congratulations to Akiptan, Nimiipuu, and Yakaawu. Another round of applause. So as we close tonight, I'd just like to give a personal message on behalf of OWISTA, our staff and board of directors. Walking hand in hand with many of our partners and our native CDFIs is our greatest honor. And we hold that relationship dear. So all of you that came and our supporters on behalf of our organization, thank you so much. And as we know, and I think a very dear friend of mine is in the room tonight, Jim King. Here he is, Jim King. He said recently last week, and I said, I'm going to take that tagline. So I quoted you with it first, Jim. But one of his taglines is, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to make deep impact and change, go slow and go with friends. And we are all with friends tonight. So for each one of you that care about that work and support our native CDFI industry, a huge round of applause for yourselves. Thank you so much. And as well, we would be nothing without our partners. So the deep relationship with OFN for over 20 years, Wells Fargo, and supporting these awards and supporting our Native Awards ceremony, Native Gathering Day, deep appreciation there as well. Thank you.